Hey guys! Tonight, we sail the open Pacific. An endless sheet of deep blue where the sky and water mirror each other so perfectly. You can't always tell which way is up. You're standing barefoot on a woven deck canoe, wide enough for a few dozen souls and narrow enough to feel every pitch and sway. The ocean stretches in every direction, horizon unbroken. There are no maps, no GPS, no compass clipped to your shorts. Just your instincts. And the sky above. You are a Polynesian wayfinder, or at least you're trying to become one, which is bold of you because the test is simple. Survive the voyage. And you're already squinting at the heavens like someone who just realized they don't know what a cirrus cloud is. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. But only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. I'd love to know where you're listening from. Drop your location and the local time in the comments. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You stretch your neck back and scan the sky. It's just after dawn, and already the clouds are whispering their secrets. You've been told to pay attention to their shape and position. Low, fluffy cumulus clouds tend to form above islands. They build over land as the sun warms the trees, soil, and stone, drawing moisture up to create a puffy crown. If you see those clusters in the distance, especially where there's otherwise only ocean, they might just be painting the silhouette of a hidden island below. But it's not just the clouds. It's the way they move. Some pass steadily, like ships on a celestial trade route. Others stall oddly, clumping as if something below is holding them in place. You watch as a cluster of clouds seems to drift against the wind. Your mentor, leathery and sun-wrinkled, nods. That's not a trick of the light. That's Lapa, the light path. Lapa is the strange shimmer said to shoot across the ocean from an island, visible only in low light, just before dawn or after dusk. Some elders claim it looks like a flicker of lightning streaking underwater. Others say it's more like a pulse of brightness in the waves. Historians still argue whether Lapa is a real optical phenomenon or the result of intense training and imagination. But right now, your gut says there's something in that direction. You shield your eyes. The sun is up now, and the clouds begin their daily drama. High, wispy ones stretch across the sky like pulled taffy, while the lower clouds form puffy banks near the horizon. Those lower ones are your focus. You squint to see if their undersides are darker. If they are, it might mean they're reflecting something below, like dense jungle or dark volcanic rock. You see a patch of clouds with slightly dusky bellies. Your heart taps out a hopeful rhythm. Meanwhile, your crewmates are watching the swells. Long, slow ocean waves tell their own story. These navigators can sense the rhythm and direction of multiple swell systems at once, each one born from distant winds, storms, or lands. If an island disrupts the flow, creates a bounce or cross-current, they'll feel it in their knees before you've even figured out which way the canoe is tilting. You pretend to feel something, but really, you're just trying not to fall over. There's also the color of the water. It's not just blue. There's 100 shades between sapphire and slate. Shallow reefs give the ocean a turquoise shimmer. Freshwater runoff near islands sometimes changes the tint slightly, almost imperceptibly. A real wayfinder notices. You still mostly see wet. And then there's the temperature. A sudden change in wind or water warmth could mean land nearby. Mountains and forests breathe heat and moisture into the air, affecting the way it feels on your skin. You touch the surface. Still cool. But the wind has shifted, just barely, brushing your cheek with the kind of breeze that might have passed over something green. Of course, there's the birds. You see a few now, white terns, flitting like paper scraps in the breeze. Some birds fly far, but others only venture a set distance from land. You try to remember which are which. Your mentor whistles sharply and nods toward a lone booby bird flying out to sea. "That one's going fishing," he mutters. "Watch when it turns back." So you do. You watch the arc of its flight, the way it dips toward the water, then swings around, heading back the way it came. You trace the line with your eyes. It's pointing, roughly where those dark-bellied clouds are still hanging. You don't say anything. You're not ready to claim a discovery. But your mentor smiles without looking at you, as if he's reading your thoughts. Maybe he is. Or maybe he saw the same thing, but wanted you to find it first. You check the horizon again. Still just ocean. Still just sky. But something in your chest says, there's land out there. You can't see it, but you feel it. And for a navigator, that's how it begins. You lean into the warm wind as the canoe glides forward, slicing across the indigo ocean with a whisper. Hours pass, or maybe just moments. Time gets weird out here, where the only clocks are the movement of stars and the angle of the sun on your shoulders. Your back aches a little. Salt crusts your lips. Still no island in sight. But those clouds, you're sure of them now. They've held position since morning. A slow-motion huddle above a spot of sea that looks different. You can't explain it well. The water there has a flatness, a calmness, like something's breaking the waves beneath the surface. You remember what your teacher told you? Islands cast shadows not just in light, but in wind and water too. That cloud bank might just be nature's way of saying, "Hey, there's something down here." You check the birds again. There are more now. Noddies, petrels, and the ever-reliable frigate birds. They cruise in slow, lazy arcs, some alone, some in twos and threes. You watch one disappear in the direction of the cloud bank, and this time, it doesn't return. That's a good sign. Or, it got distracted. But let's stay optimistic. Midday light is sharp and blinding. You kneel to reduce the glare. Then you see it. A ripple in the reflection. Not in the sea itself, but in the sky's mirror, warped by the tiniest shimmer. It's like the clouds are bending slightly, just barely, over something solid. And that's when your mind drifts to what the elders say about reading cloud reflections, not just formations. Some Polynesian navigators, especially those from the Marshall Islands, built stick charts, tactile maps made from palm ribs and shells, used to model the wave patterns and island shadows. But even these weren't meant to navigate with directly. They were more like memory tools. You'd study them, then leave them behind. You remember touching one back on shore, tracing your finger over the curved rods that mimicked swells, the shells marking island clusters. Now, you realize you're inside the chart. Wind picks up. It smells faintly green, like damp soil and trees. You blink. Did you imagine that? Maybe. Or maybe not. Your stomach, which has been politely ignoring your brain all morning, lets out a whale song of protest. The prospect of fruit, anything not dried, smoked, or vaguely fishy, suddenly feels sacred. Still no island in sight. But the water changes again. You spot patches of discoloration, not from algae or sunlight, but from something deeper. Coral, maybe? Or sandbanks? Historians still argue whether Polynesian navigators could consistently detect underwater topography just by observing subtle shifts in ocean hue. Some swear they could see the bottom. Others say it's more likely they felt it in how the canoe moved. Your vessel, your floating classroom, dips and rises with a slightly new rhythm. Not much, just enough. Enough that you and your crewmates share a quiet look. Land is near. Of course, you're not the only one who knows it. A baby on board stops crying, sensing the change. An elder mutters thanks to the ancestors. Even the wind has changed tune, now steady and humid, like someone breathing softly on your neck. It's all very poetic, until your foot slips and you nearly fall backward into the fresh catch. And just like that, you're yanked back into the present. You steady yourself, focus your eyes again. The clouds ahead are not only dark-bellied, they're rising taller now, fueled by the sun and the island below. Cumulus towers, the giveaway. The sky is confirming what your instincts, your bird-watching, and your half-starved hope have already told you. You scan the sea once more, and there, on the furthest edge of sight, you catch it. A faint, jagged smudge where the horizon should be smooth. No, not a cloud, not a trick. It's green. It's land. Your crew exhales as one. You grin, partly from relief, partly from sheer disbelief that it worked. Clouds, birds, the feel of the waves. You read them, or at least managed not to misread them badly enough to die, which, in this context, is a pretty good day. You won't be honored with a feast just yet. You'll need to repeat this, probably many times. And without that moment, you nearly mistook a floating log for an island. But still, you found it. Or rather, you let the ocean tell you where it was. As the canoe approaches, the air thickens. You hear the crash of waves on a reef, smell palm fronds and damp earth, see white sand that gleams like bone under the afternoon sun. You made it, and it only took reading the sky like a bedtime story. Now, as the canoe drifts gently toward shore, you let your eyes rest. The water sloshes softly against the hull, steady and rhythmic like a lullaby from the sea itself. That towering cloud bank, the one that guided you all this way, fades to a warm gray, its edges painted gold by the lowering sun. You breathe in deeply, feeling the salt and the green of distant foliage settle into your lungs like sleep itself. You've traveled far tonight, across open ocean, across centuries of oral knowledge, passed from navigator to navigator like a shell passed between cupped hands. You've listened to waves that don't speak in words, watched skies that whisper instead of shout. And you did what the ancients did. You trusted what you felt, not what you saw, but what you sensed. The island is waiting now. Trees sway in the distance. A few birds still loop above, winging toward their roosts. The canoe slows, gliding through shallow turquoise water as though being pulled by invisible threads. And now you drift too. Let the sea quiet your thoughts. Let the sky, with its pillowed clouds and soft amber light, tuck you in. The journey is done. The firewood is dry. The food is near. And the stars will rise soon, just as they have always done. Always guiding. Always watching. You did well, navigator. So rest now. You've earned it.